Raise your fist to the air. Tunes Brothers everywhere. Rockin' loud, feel the sound. Tunes Brothers smashing ground. Whoa, rebels with guitars in hand. Raise your fist. Raise your fist.
Okay, welcome in, Tunes Brothers, all that bullshit. Dave, Rob, Dayron, Lewis, and Scotty. Lewis, this was your idea, so it's your turn to explain the video.
Before I explain anything, I just have to make a statement that I have been, how would I put it? My integrity has been insulted, my reputation soiled, and my character tarnished. I refuse to accept yours and Scott's little act of subterfuge to entice me to vote for a song based on you not liking or liking the song. That had nothing to do with why I picked where I put Fallen Angel with Ace Frehley. Therefore, since apologies will not rectify what you have done to me, you both deserve a glove slap.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, poor Lewis.
Oh, shit.
Now, I will talk about the topic at hand. Dave initiated the idea when he wanted to put Creatures Against Dynasty, or in his case, Dynasty. Now, I said to myself and quickly that 2 other albums also have 9 songs. And I figured the best thing is just have a big brawl between the 4 albums we will discuss, to which is going to be the King album. I have a feeling that an album will reign supreme that we do not expect at this time. So, therefore, that's all I have to say at this time.
All right. Scott, how was this for you?
This was actually freaking awesome, man. I did not expect it to be this good. And I didn't expect it to be as diverse as it was for me.
Hold that thought. We do not promote nor condone DEI on this show.
Yes, exactly. Thank you. I'm glad somebody.
What the hell is DEI?
Diversity,
equity, and inclusion.
Basically, it's that whole thing where you got to hire everybody of every color, sexual orientation, everything else, versus them actually being, fucking qualified. But
right,
yeah. Sorry, Scott. I just had to get that in because you said diverse. Go ahead.
I thought that's why we put Louis in.
I hate that too.
Well, Louis was a DE&I hire. I mean, that's obvious.
DEI
is an octogenarian age group.
Stands for didn't earn it.
There you go. Okay, Scott. Yeah. Sorry, we all interrupted you, Scott. Go ahead.
They all need to burn in hell. Okay, but anyway, I really enjoyed it, and like I said, I didn't realize how it was going to go. You get this image in your mind of the album that you really like, or a couple of them. I like all these albums. One of them was a little weaker on mine, that is, but the other 3, put them in a fucking blender, bro. It's not close at all as far as, being one-sided for me. So, yeah, I enjoyed it.
Louis.
Oh, yeah, I thought it was it was weird and like, okay, this song, that song, okay, it was like, pick the songs, go with a, geez, I was so good in the beginning, I really had it going. Okay, I'm going to start again here. Okay, I went across all the tracks, I was like, okay, that one's definitely out. Those 2 are kind of pretty good. Yeah, I'm picking that one over there. That one's going to be the champ for this round. Others were a little bit easier. The hardest one I had was, well, when we get to it, was I liked 3 of the 4 songs equally. And I was really thinking, like, that's when I had the point in my mind of feeling guilty for not picking either of the other 2 as number 1. Because when I picked one as the choice I picked, oh, man, what about these other 2? Oh, so I will mention that when I get there, okay? And that's all I have at this time, because I really want to go into when we pick our first round. That'll be my longest dialogue of the whole thing for me. The first one has a lot for me to say.
Versus now.
Yeah, the first round.
No, I said versus now.
Where you didn't have much to say at all.
I'm shut up.
We got a cat sighting. Which cat is that there, Scotty?
Oh, that is Callie.
Callie. Beautiful
Callie.
cat.
Callie.
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 Tally?
What the fuck do you think I'm
Named after Kyle Busch.
Frank?
Callie.
Callie.
Yeah,
Kylie?
Yeah. Callie.
Jesus Christ. Dayron.
Yeah.
No, I mean, obviously it's 4 Kiss albums, so there wasn't a whole lot wrong with listening to it. I don't think I had any, like Louis did, where I was so in love with 3 of the songs that it made it difficult. Maybe 2 that stood out much higher than the others. But no, this was a good listen. One of them's going to come down to how I feel when we get to that number track, because I still haven't picked a winner out of 2 songs. But yeah, it was good. A couple of my favorite Kiss albums were included in this, so made it interesting, that's for sure.
Down Under.
I could be giving something away, but maybe I'm just.
God, I hope you're more
face.
open-minded than that, you old school motherfucker.
Yeah, no. I did this on the fact that of the 4 songs, I'd say which one, if I could only ever listen to one again, which one would it be?
Okay.
Because some of them are hard, some of them are pretty close to each other. And there was one album that didn't get much love, but yeah, it's interesting.
Well, thankfully for me, there was no Monster, Gene, or Peter's solo album, so this was, obviously enjoyable. But nevertheless, irritated the hell out of me because I love so many of these songs so much. It's hard for me to actually proclaim which is better. So after I finally had enough irritation, I pushed away and left it pushed away because I keep changing my mind. I won't even look at it right now. I just glimpsed at it and I got mad and turned my head. So, Scott, you get to start off track 1, Detroit Rock City versus your favorite song, I Was Made for Loving You, versus Creatures of the Night versus I've Had Enough, Into the Fire. And I read in brackets, and I don't like it, but I did it.
Okay, that's fine. Hey, I've got my friend came by today, Rick. I got to see him for a little bit, him and his wife. And he had just got back from Disturbed. And is it Daltrey? Is that his name?
Daughtry.
Yeah. And somebody else played in Charlotte at the Spectrum. And he said it was badass. He said that Disturbed was like a 2-hour show, and it's almost turned into almost an Alice Cooper type show. He said it was fucking wicked. But anyway, he seen Ace Frehley the other night. I mean, he's going all over the place. Hell, he's getting ready to go to Vegas to see Kiss, for God's sake. I'm like, man, where are you getting this money? You selling drugs or something? But anyway, yeah. He got to meet Ace. He paid to meet him, and he signed 3 or 4 of his albums. Man, he come by here showing me the signatures and stuff. And I said, we got to have you on here so you can let everybody know how the show was, and the couple concerts he's been to, and what Ace was like when you met him. So I'll save that. But anyway, number one. This one was very, very fucking tough right here. This was one of the toughest ones, probably. My favorite. Do the drum solo, whatever. I've had enough Into the Fire.
Wow.
This time around, that one got it. I love that fucking song anyway. Detroit Rock City second, Creatures of the Night third, and I Was Made to Create Shit fourth. So that's my lineup, and that's all I got to say about that.
Louie.
Okay, now the fight really begins. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble. Okay, before I give you my number one choice, I have to speak on this, and I'll try to make it as brief as possible, but also be concise. I Was Made for Loving You is not a disco song. There are no other disco songs that sound like it. In fact, the disco community rejects that song as being a disco song. I used to go clubbing in my younger days when you could drink beer at 18. You go to the club. They wouldn't play that song. They tried a couple times, and every time they tried, the people would vacate the dance floor because they just don't know how to disco dance to that song. So that being all said and done, now we've got the four powerhouse.
Hold on, Louie. Scott's got something to add, and since you and Scott are Scott, hang on. I'm going to put this in here because I know you're going to go back and forth with Louie. You ready?
Okay. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I got to say this before anybody picks on this first one. If anybody picks I Was Made for Loving You, but over any of these songs right here, would suck a cock. Okay? That's all I wanted to put out there. That's it. I'm done. There you
go. Fine. Now.
Oh, God.
Now I continue.
Yes, go ahead.
Now I continue. Now we have four powerhouse songs, starting with Detroit Rock City, the song that has drawn many new fans into being Kiss on their second go-around after their first go-around from the first three albums to Alive. Destroyer was their reinventing of themselves and brought themselves to a whole new public audience. And with that car starting, the song, the intro, everyone's like, that is the song, that is the group for me. Then came I Was Made for Loving You, the big hit that put them further into the realm of people that do not like them starting to finally like them. Creatures of the Night with its heavy pounding drums and bringing them back to being a hard metal band again after a hiatus of doing pop and other things. And of course, the last song of I've Had Enough, a powerhouse of a song. And the song I chose, and I was surprised Scott chose it because I thought he would either pick Detroit or Creatures. And I have to agree that you cannot beat the unstoppable I've Had Enough as the best of those four tracks.
All right. After that brief description, Dayron.
Holy cow. All right. Well, for me, this one was pretty easy. I had to go with Creatures of the Night, the lead-off track from my favorite album from Kiss. I've Had Enough was I wouldn't say a close second, distant second. Then I would have gone with Detroit Rock City and I Was Made for Loving You. But definitely Creatures for me.
Okay, Dave.
Gee, I should suck a cock. Just to fuck Scotty off. I've made no secret that Creatures of the Night is my favorite Kiss album. So, not true. Detroit Rock City is a song I've sort of grown tired of over the years, to be honest. I Was Made for Loving You, I love, and it's not a disco song. When it came out, I never thought, oh, well, this is Kiss's disco song. Nah, it's got a beat. Nothing wrong with that. I've Had Enough is another great song. But to me, Creatures of the Night is the strongest song. I Was Made for Loving You would be number 2.
All right. You all right, Scott?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just trying to visualize something, but I can't.
You trying to visualize me sucking a cock? That's more disturbing than me doing
That's
it.
already in the spank bank. He doesn't have to reimagine that. That's already a go-to.
It was more like this.
I love all 4 of these songs. Every single one. I will agree with Scott and Lewis. I don't either. I've accepted the fact that most people on the internet, anyways, call I Was Made for Loving You a disco song. As a massive disco fan myself, it's not true disco, but it's not the best song on here by a mile. This came down to 2, and of course, one of them was Detroit Rock City. So I had to take an approach of which one is the best track 1 to make this decision. And as much as me and Scott, and I'm sure many other Kiss fans, love the storied intro of Detroit Rock City, Creatures of the Night is the one of these 4 that immediately just kicks you in the teeth when it hits. Like I said, I love all 4 of these songs, so I had to take it to that level. Which one is the best track 1? And that might not have been the rule, but the only one that was clearly not going to be number 1 was I Was Made for Loving.
Yeah.
But it could have been I've Had Enough. It could have been Detroit, and it could have been Creatures. So Creatures is the best opening track for the albums. So that's where I go with that. All right. Scotty, number 2 is King of the Nighttime World, 2000 Man, Saint and Sinner, and Heaven's on Fire.
Not an easy one either, bro. But I went with the approach that I liked this time. 2000 Man.
Surprise.
Wow.
Saint and Sinner second. King of the Nighttime World third. And Heaven's on Fire last in line.
Now,
I knew you were going to go with Ace.
Would 2000 Man have won if it was the Rolling Stones version?
Oh, I hope.
Hell no. Oh my God. Don't never subject that to any fucking body else. Gosh.
All right. Scott pulls an upset there, at least in my eyes. Louis.
Okay, question, Darren. You keeping track of all our number 1s?
Yes, just the number 1s.
Thank you. Okay. Now, as far as we mentioned on the Warning video about the Warning reinventing Enter Sandman, 2000 Man is a total reinvention of that song by Kiss. So we got to give him credit for reinventing that song. But it is not my number 1 pick, but it was a battle between what ended up being number 1. So I'm going to pick this song because I know I have to deliberately avoid what I predict Rob will pick for number 1 in this round because I know him too well. I am picking King of the Nighttime World for this round.
All right.
Good pick.
This one was relatively close for me. 2000 Man is, I've always enjoyed that song, even though it is sung by Ace. But that's one of the songs off of Dynasty that I've always liked. I mean, there's others, obviously. I think that's in my top 5 albums from Kiss.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I love Dynasty. However, the song that when I listened to these, I actually went with Heaven's on Fire. I may be in the minority on this one, but I think that is the better of the forced tunes.
All right. David.
I'll have to listen to this Dynasty album you all guys keep talking about.
Is it a Dynasty?
We got Dynasty here, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
this one wasn't as hard. Like I said, I
Hold
wasn't.
on, hold on. For education purposes, when it comes to Australia, then are they dinosaurs?
No, that's spelled with an I though, not a Y.
Yeah, but still the same concept.
Well, in
Each
Australia,
language is very.
they eat diner at dinners.
Okay, did you guys have the soap opera Dynasty there? Did you call that Dynasty too?
Yep.
Wow.
And the car. Who made the Dynasty? Pontiac? No, there was a Dynasty car.
Really?
Yeah. Who made the? Yes, there was a Dynasty automobile. I mean,
Mitsubishi
Never heard.
made a Diamante, but I never heard of a Dynasty car.
oh come
Anyway.
All
on.
right. Anyway, go ahead, Dave.
The rest of the English-speaking world will back me up on Dynasty. So,
Okay.
anyway, so this was difficult. As I said, wasn't surprised Scott went with 2000 Man, because if anyone's sucking a cock, it's Scott on Ace. Darren said Heaven's on Fire would be. He thought no one else would pick it, but he's wrong because it's my favorite by a mile of these 4 tracks.
And it was the Dodge Dynasty.
Dodge Dynasty.
It was a car or a truck?
We didn't get that here
Car.
anyway.
No, it was like a 4-door sedan.
Okay. Let's see if Lewis really knows me. This, I enjoy 3 of these songs. One of them I tolerate. I'll let you all guess which one I tolerate.
Satan Sinner.
No. This actually came down to Saint and Sinner and Heaven's on Fire. And this is one of the ones where I cursed Louis to myself because everything in me wanted to choose Saint and Sinner. And every time I'd put on Heaven's on Fire and hear that intro, there was no way I could do it. So, Heaven's on Fire.
I knew it. I knew that.
Prove
You
it.
said-
Did you seal it in an envelope
I
so
wish
you
I
could
did.
open it up and show us to prove that you
Yeah.
were right?
He has stated unequivocally several times how he likes that song. So I knew that was going to be his pick.
Trifecta.
All right.
I guess you want to ring the bell for 3 votes or something?
Yeah.
For 3 votes?
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
The
Heaven's
3 of
on
us at
Fire.
the end have picked the same songs.
Yeah.
You,
Not
Darren.
unanimous. We're going with just the winner.
Oh, okay. Let's go
Well,
unanimous.
you rang it.
Yeah,
the first
yeah.
couple
I
times
fucked
we
up.
matched
I fucked up on the first couple of rounds. That's
right.
not shocking.
All
All
right.
right. Number 3, Scott, God of Thunder, Sure Know Something, Keep Me Coming, and Burn, Bitch, Burn.
Hey, 3 of these were kind of tough. One I'm starting to like a little bit, but I wanted to put 3 of them at number 1. And I want to say that it was between Saint and Sinner and 2000 Man for me on number
Okay.
2. It was almost Saint and Sinner. So, God of Thunder, number 1 this time. Sure Know Something, number 2. Keep Me Coming, number 3. And Burn, Bitch, Burn is the runner-up.
So in alphabet or in numerical order as far as the albums too.
Yeah.
What about that?
All right.
That is very inquisitive. There you go.
Thank you. Louis.
Well, okay. You know, after hearing all the various live versions, which time for self-promotion again, my God of Thunder selection on my Alive 2 is much better than the Alive 2 version of God of Thunder that's officially released to the public. But it was nice to go back and hear the original version, slow and sinister with the sound effects and everything. It was a nice breath of fresh air again to go back to hear that way. Sure Know Something, song I used to like, not like, whatever. So that's easily not on. That's not a choice at all. Keep Me Coming. That kind of reminded me. I always, refer to that as a Led Zeppelin style sound. So since Led Zeppelin has kind of been diminished as a group I don't give a shit about, that song ain't going to be picked either. And then you got Burn, Bitch, Burn, which I don't think gets enough love. So therefore, Burn Bitch Burn is my choice for this go around.
Wow.
That might have been the most intelligent pick I've ever heard you make.
That is a shocking pick. Wow.
That song kicks total ass, man.
Dayron.
All right. This really came down to two. I mean, for me anyway, this was close call between Sure Knows Something and God of Thunder. But I went with the Dynasty song, Sure Knows Something.
Wow.
Another shocker for me. All right, Dave.
And I'm going to follow Darren again.
Wow.
Okay.
Because I've gone with the Dynasty song, Sure Knows Something. Always
Now
loved the song.
that one doesn't surprise me because you're from Dynasty area, right? That album might as well have just been released for Australia.
I Sure Know Something.
Yeah. All right. Well, for me, God of Thunder was only a thing when I was in elementary school, and only because it scared me. As an adult, the song does nothing for me. Sure Knows Something.
Whoa. When did you become an adult?
Last week.
Yeah.
Last night.
Oh,
Last night.
okay. All right.
When I was putting this list together. Sure Knows Something I find overrated. I like it, but I don't like it as much as Kiss fans on these podcasts seem to love it. This came down to Keep Me Coming and Burn Bitch Burn for me. I fucking love Burn Bitch Burn. I think it's one of the most melodic choruses Kiss has ever done. However, Keep Me Coming just is a badass screamer, and that's where I went. Back to Creatures of the Night, Keep Me Coming.
If she can't keep me coming, she can burn.
Yeah, there you go. Scott, you having a heart attack over there? You thought I was going to go Burn Bitch Burn, right?
Yes, I did.
All right, number 4, Scotty. Great Expectations, Dirty Living, Rock and Roll Hell, Get All You Can Take.
All right. Number 1 of the track 4 duel is First Time on Creatures. I can't believe it. Rock and Roll Hell, brother. Oh my God, what a song. I love that song, man. And it was stronger than Dirty Living, stronger than definitely Get All You Can Take. And of course, Great Expectations rounds out the bottom of this one. This one here was no contest.
Right on. Lewis.
Okay, I just want to remind people that I was the first to acknowledge the Dynasty word for Dave at the beginning of the video. And
thank you, Luke.
Now this one here, none of these songs really grab me like, oh, I love that song over the others. But one I liked better than the other 3, but I wish the chorus was diminished. It sounds like 12 people singing the chorus at the same time, and it's just too heavy-handed on that. But my choice is Get All You Can Take. If they just would have lowered the amount of people or the overdubs, not to sound like 12 people singing that chorus, I think it would have been a much better song. But out of the 4 there, Get All You Can Take is the choice I had to select.
And on that, before you go, Dayron, how about a shout out to Kiss for the most clever, indistinguishable use of the F word in a song ever? In every chorus. What fucking difference does it make? And you wouldn't even know they're fucking saying it because of that thick chorus. There you go.
All right. So on this one for track number 4, I have to agree with Scott. That Rock and Roll Hell is the best of the 4, and to me it's not even close. That song off of Creatures has always been a favorite of mine from that album, and again, for me, not even close.
Dave, are we going to have a Dynasty sighting here?
No
Dynasty, sorry.
So when I first heard Destroyer, Great Expectations was probably my favorite song off it. But, you know, that's 11 years old, so. He said breast, so that was enough for me. I think Dirty Living is the best song Peter Criss did on Dynasty.
It's the only song he did on there.
I know. That's just being funny.
That's why it's the best.
Get All You Can Take, I don't like much at all. Which just leaves Rock and Roll Hell as being the standout track.
Thank God.
Well, this is another one where I love every one of these songs. I really ignored Get All You Can Take through most of my early adult life. It wasn't until I was in my late 30s, early 40s that this started to really grab me. Rock and Roll Hell's a badass song. I mean, badass. Dirty Living is one of my favorite Peter songs of all time. And Great Expectations, sadly underrated and made fun of by most of the Kiss army. The epic harmonies in that thing. So my number one is definitely Rock and Roll Hell. Gotcha, Scotty.
Hook, line, and sinker.
Hey, if you'd have said Great Expectations, I'd have said cut. Fucking cut. He's full of shit. Hey,
Rock and Roll Hell. Rock and Roll Hell is iconic for me.
It is unbelievable. I have to give them that. Look, Get All You Can Take could have been a absolutely stunner song if Paul would have sung in his 70 voice on that song. He is trying too damn hard on that song. His voice is keeping this high pitch through the whole chorus, and he's even getting higher halfway through the damn chorus. That's why I'm not as crazy about that song. If he would have brought it down and just been Paul, that would have been one killer track.
I agree. That would have even made it better than, in addition to reducing the amount of people, like down to 8 sounding people instead of 12, and the lower voice of the 70s.
I don't know about going back to
hit.
I don't know about going back to the 70s, but while you were saying that, no, I know. I'm saying while you were saying that, I was thinking, or how about like Down on Your Knees or Legend Tonight, the way he was singing on Killers.
Yeah. Creatures. Pick it up.
Gotcha.
Just sing it like Exciter or something.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Man.
We're getting to another interesting one. At least for me, it was Flamin' Youth versus Charisma versus Danger versus Lonely is the Hunter.
Yes, this one was tough, dude. You're right. I went through the top 3 on this one and back and forth. But you got to choose one, and number 1 for me on track 5, Flaming Youth. Number 2, very close, almost took it, because I love Danger. It's one of my favorite songs on Creatures because of the power of the drums, Vinny's lead, and Paul's unbelievably powerful voice on that song. It's God fucking earth-shattering. Charisma, one of the best songs on Dynasty by far. I love Gene's voice in that one. It's just got that beat that Lonely is the Hunter is not my worst song on Animalize, but it don't come close to these 3. This is the one Bruce plays the lead in. Great lead. So, Flaming Youth, number 5, my choice.
Louie.
Time for self-promotion again, part 2.
You got
And I have on my Kiss Alive 2, which should have been on the official version, Flamin' Youth, which is tremendous with its energy and power, and to have that on my album makes my Kiss Alive 2 much better. And it's on YouTube, folks. To hear is wonderful. But now, getting to the list. Lonely the Hunter is a song that impressed me finally because I actually listened to all the nuances, the guitar and everything, and I enjoyed it. Flaming Youth, even on Destroyer, with that calliope sounding like an evil carnival, is wonderful. Danger, if you listen to the lyrics, you can make a video of Stallone's First Blood movie of all those lyrics seems to fit what goes on in that movie, just by coincidence. But the song I chose as number one, because I remember loving it so much, and you got to crank it really loud to really enjoy it, is Charisma. That is my number one pick.
Ron.
All right. This one was a little bit more on the difficult side for me. I kind of dismissed Lonely as the Hunter right off the bat off of Animalize. Danger, that's a song that off of Creatures that I've always enjoyed a lot. Paul is phenomenal on that song. However, Charisma is really the song that grabbed me on to liking Dynasty as much as I do, but nothing beats Flamin' Youth. I mean, to me, that's an outstanding song. It's one that I wish that they would have added to or played a lot of in their live sets. I think they overlooked it. I don't know why, but I don't think the band gave it enough love in their 50 years of touring. So Flaming Youth.
All right, Down Under.
I love three of these songs. I like one, but I'll bring some sanity. And to me, the obvious choice is the one of Creatures, which is Danger. Great Paul Stanley vocal. Easily gets my number one vote.
Oh, you just got a massive heart on for Creatures of the Night. You know, it's an obvious. I can almost predict every one of your picks.
Well, it's the best album. But I've picked two songs not on it already, so.
Okay.
All right. This one came down to three. This was probably my most difficult one. Lonely in the Hunter's okay. I'm not going to crap on it. It just wasn't in the running with these other three. Flamin' Youth, I've been on record for years saying is the most underrated Kiss song ever. I was lucky enough to hear them pull it back out of the archives and play it live in the 2000s. Charisma has always been one of my favorite Gene Simmons songs ever. I love this methodical voice of his, and Danger. I love Paul's screeching vocals on this. But I bounced back and forth with Flamin' Youth and Charisma, and I had to just go with what I've touted forever in Flamin' Youth. But any day of the week, any one of those three could be number one for me.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Those three there were fucking hard.
Yeah. All right. Number 6, Scotty, we've got Sweet Pain, Magic Touch, I Love It Loud, and Under the Gun.
Well, this one wasn't quite as bad. I think everybody knows where this one's going. So I will read from the bottom up just to keep y'all thinking a little bit. Anyway, my least favorite out of all of them is Under the Gun. A little bit too fast. Paul's a little bit too busy, especially live in that, but we're not going from the live, but he's still busy on that one too. Number 3, Sweet Pain. Number 2, the runner-up, The Bridesmaid. I Love It Loud, which is fucking, I love. It was this one or Magic Touch got number 1 for me this time because it's that damn good. I would have just loved to have heard it with the production of Creatures. Some of those songs on Dynasty, holy shit. All right, number 1, Magic Touch.
Louis, I'm assuming that's too much of a ballad for you to pick that number one. So
A ballad.
It would have been, if I were to rank, it would have been
for,
like
for
three.
Louis, Scott, not for me.
It would have been third and not fourth. But anyway, I got a little story. When back in 1983, I served in the military. I was in Okinawa, Japan, and we had a Listerman's Club right there in the camp. So we would go there just about every night. And I met this dude, and he was a drummer, and we're talking about Kiss, and he's telling me how he could play the beat for "I Love It Loud." I go, all right, yeah, whatever, dude. And he asked the band that was playing, just a little local Japanese band, if he could sit on play the drums. And he asked me to come up. He goes, hey, we're going to do I Love It Loud. I go, okay. So just him on the drums and me singing. We did I Love It Loud for the crowd in the AM Club, and they fucking loved it. I had a lot of fun doing that. I just wish that there was a video to prove it.
Now being this was Japan, did you, for your efforts, did you get a free rub and tug after that, or?
Yeah.
From the drummer.
It wasn't out bass.
So how long did you and that dude date?
You're a mean person, Darren.
It was a one-night stand. It wasn't a date.
Okay, Louis.
So, but that being said, between these four songs, I Love It Loud is my least favorite. I think it's something about it has the good side of the drum, the crash, and everything else, but I just think it's just not enough. It needs to. I would love if they could rework that song. But anyway, that being said, now the hardest things I had to choose between Sweet Pain and Under the Gun, because I love the hell out of Sweet Pain with that organ type thing coming in at the beginning, and it's whatever, you know. That's just so cool. But I don't give a
All right.
That's you listen to the album. That's what you hear. My leather fits tied around me. Okay, but I remember this particular song I'm choosing at number one. I thought was flawed. I thought was filler. But when I listened to it over the last couple of years, I have really grown to love it. That it's so powerful. It could be an opening track because of the lyrics. You know, looking for a thrill, you'll get it my way. Let's at the highway. You know, shoot into the night. The main attraction is back in town and all that. Like that's like a comeback song. Like we're coming back in that album. This is our new album, and here's our opening song, which it could have been. Not dismissing their actual song, but it still could have made a great opening track. Under the Gun is not filler. It's a prime song, and I love the hell out of it.
All right, Scott, are you going to be okay? You know, when you look at the YouTube slider when you're watching videos, if they do chapter marks or whatever, this will say this is the most replayed. Scott's reaction during that whole thing, if I had chapter things, would have been the most replayed. He went from shock to anger to almost passing out through your whole spiel, Louis. It was hilarious.
Yes. I think he's doing this on purpose.
When you started in I Love It Loud, Scott just about fucking shot out of his chair. Okay, Derek.
For me, this one wasn't that difficult. As much as I love it loud and enjoy that song, I had to go with Magic Touch off of Dynasty. That is by far the better of the four tunes.
And that's all you got to say about that?
Absolutely.
All right, Dave.
I'm just loving the fact Darren keeps saying Dynasty.
Just to make you happy.
Yeah, thanks. Well, as Louis has pointed out, Creatures of the Night is my favorite album. So it's pretty obvious that I will go for the best song on Dynasty, which is Magic Touch.
Okay, this was much easier for me. Sweet Pain, I'll tell you, I do really enjoy that song, and I kind of always have, even since I was a kid. It's never been a playlist song for me, though, oddly enough, but when it's on, I enjoy it. Under the Gun, I understand what Louis talking about with an opening. It's got everything an opening song needs. It's just missing something. never really understood why that got the nod on that Animalize tour. Again, not a terrible song, but it is what it is. I Love It Loud is absolutely epic. Power, the very definition of power. I mean, the drums in that will crack your fucking ribs, but there is no way I can go against the vocals of Paul Stanley in Magic Touch. From the power to the falsettos he hits in there, it's just an amazing song.
Yes. And I almost did go with I Love It Loud. It's that damn good. Especially when you see that video. It is fucking.
That might be my favorite rock video of all time by any band.
I'm telling you, bro, they done it right with that one.
Yeah. All right, on to number 7. Shout It Out Loud, Hard Times, I Still Love You, and Thrills in the Night.
Okay.
For those of you who watched the hell out of the Animalize live uncensored VHS tape like I had, you'll notice I just said it like Paul did. Thrills in the Night. Right?
Okay.
All right, nobody cares.
Yeah.
No.
Good, Scott.
You did. That's still my son's favorite concert to this day.
I don't blame him. Wasn't that extravagant stage-wise, but there was just something about it.
Yeah, he loves it. But anyway. Okay. This one was kind of interesting, but not that hard for me. Number 4, the runner up. Shout It Out Loud. Number 3, Thrills in the Night. Number 2 and number 1, both could have been number 1, but not this time. I Still Love You is the bridesmaid, the runner-up that I love, but Hard Times takes it with Dynasty. Ha!
Now, honestly, Scott, is I Love It Loud coming in 4th a product of extreme exhaustion and overplay?
Shout It Out Loud, yeah.
Okay.
And look.
That's kind of where I was too.
I'm not the biggest fan of Shout It Out Loud anyway.
Okay.
I love the song because I've grew up to the song. But I've never been that guy that thinks that they need to play that song every damn show.
No, they don't. Didn't. Yeah. I agree. Louie.
Okay. First of all, Thrills in the Night. It's a high quality song, but the 3 others are going to be a little bit stronger. The strength of the song itself is very strong, but I've been listening.
Whoa. The strength of the song is very strong.
Yeah, that sounded dumb, redundant. I know.
Okay.
The strength of the song is prevalent. Okay, we'll put it that way. But the melody, I think it's not that good. It sounds more like a vocal exercise than a melodic type thing. Just I don't want to go through it, and I'm saving you and myself all that trouble. And I Still Love You is like, But I had the hard time between Shout Out Loud and Hard Times. But I always loved Shout Out Loud on Destroyer is their best recorded version. But also, they did a stint on the Howard Stern show, and they did a very good rendition there. You should check that out if you've not seen that. It's really, really good with the recent lineup. But it was back I don't know how many, 7, 8 years ago. Or don't quote me on the years, but it was kind of recent. But this time around, something about the song, the guitar, the punch, and the vocals all put together so nicely. Hard Times is the choice that I selected.
Wow, look at the fucking subtle shot he took at me. And the vocals, Mr. Ace Frehley.
Thank you, Louie.
Darren.
All right. For this one, this is the section number 7, right? This is where I had a hard time making up my mind. For me, it came down to a song off of Creatures, I Still Love You, and Animalize's Thrills in the Night. I've always enjoyed both of those songs, but I had to go back to Creatures off of this one and went with I Still Love You. Paul's powerful vocals on this one is just what puts it over the top for me.
Time to take out your trash?
No, my sister's calling. Sorry.
All right.
That's on Thursdays.
Down Under, Dave.
You know what, Rob? For as much as you and I get hassled about picking Paul Stanley songs all the time, you see the 3A songs, and Scotty's already picked 2 of them.
Yep.
So interesting to see how the third one goes.
I've always had this philosophy that Scott is so protective of his boy Ace, he picks him even when he knows it sucks.
No, fuck no.
I agree.
It's the songs that we end up against. Hey, if 2000 Man would have went up against I've Had Enough Into the Fire, it would not have won.
You can say that now because you don't have to worry about it.
I can say it, period. And if it would have went up against Rock and Roll Hell, it would have lost. Ha!
Okay,
But it didn't. Anyway, so like Darren, the 2 songs that were the standout for me were I Still Love You and Thrills in the Night. I do enjoy Shout It Loud and Hard Times, but I'm going to go with Darren. I Still Love You is just a great Paul Stanley vocal.
All right.
Too strong.
I agree with Louis. Shout It Out Loud has never been better than it was on Destroyer. Ever. I have never, and I'll have to check that out, even though I throw up in my mouth just saying Howard Stern. I'll have to check that out to see if they did anything better, but I have never heard them play this song live correctly or satisfactory. They never, ever have captured that twin lead intro. They have never, of course, even tried to capture the calliope. I see no problem in putting a backtrack of that calliope in there. I think it would have been awesome live. Hard Times is one of my favorite Ace songs of all time. You hear that? Fucking commenting or bastards who think I hate Ace. I do, but I give him some credit. I Still Love You is the most epic and greatest power ballad of all time. Thrills in the Night is a listenable, decent track. This kept coming down to I Still Love You versus Shout It Out Loud. And like Scott, yes, I could probably go the rest of my life without hearing Shout It Out Loud and not care. Not because I don't like it, just because like rock and roll and I like Black Diamond, like Love Gun. Some of these fucking songs, Deuce, that they have kept in their set list for 50 fucking years. It's enough already. But as much as I love that power ballad, I'm not a ballad first guy. So I had to go on which would I play most often, and it would be Shout It Out Loud.
Yeah.
So number 8, I think I know where Scott's going on this. Beth versus X-Ray Eyes versus Killer versus While the City Sleeps.
Okay, on this one was the weirdest one. Yeah, not hard, not easy. Weird, fucking weird. All right, don't ask me why. You'll know here in a minute.
Well, all 4 of these songs are completely fucking different types of songs, too. I mean, it's
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, going up from number 4 to number 1, Killer, which I love. Creatures of the Night.
Whoa. Holy shit.
Beth, which I love, from Destroyer.
Wow.
X-Ray Eyes, which I love, from
No fucking way. Are you kidding?
Sleeps. While the City Sleeps is better than every one of these songs, man.
I wouldn't have guessed that order, any of those songs in that order at all.
I think we need to contact your emergency contact person because I think you have a concussion.
I think he's doing it to piss me off and throw me off because I would have swore to God for you it would have come down to Killer or Beth.
And if you believe what I just said, you'll believe any fucking thing.
Okay.
No,
All right, fucker.
I had to get one. It's been a while, okay?
Yeah.
I read it in reverse. The last 4, While the City Sleeps. 3, X-Ray Eyes. 2, it was hard to put Beth in second because Killer is the best song for me on Creatures of the Night at this point in time.
You had me question if I even knew you at all. Fucking asshole.
Y'all fuck with me so damn much. I said, hell with it. I'm fucking with him on this one.
All right, Louie.
Okay, 3 of these 4. This is where the real problem came for me. As for Beth, I just heard a audio interview with Gene Simmons. He says Beth is a ballad, but it's not a love song because it has nothing to do with love. It has to be, bitch, I'm not coming home. I'm gonna play, music with these guys instead of coming home to you. So therefore, it's not a love song. And this has killed me because all 3 Gene songs, I love all equally so much. X-Ray Eyes has that cool little later Beatles type thing going on with it, with the guitars and everything. While the City Sleeps is one of the most killer tracks on Animalize. Killer is tremendous. I think Killer would have been so much better if it had no drums until after Jesus, yeah, then boom, then hit the drums. Because that little bit of drums teasing before that part hits kind of ruins the impact the song could have had. But still, despite that, Killer is my choice. And that was the hardest one for me to do because While the City Sleep, I think, is tremendous. X-Ray Eyes, whatever. It was so hard for me. Killer just edged it out because of its energy. And that's my choice.
All right, Dayron, you guys continue. I got to check something out real quick.
All right, this really was a battle of 2 songs. And both Scott and Louie have already talked about the song Killer. But I went back to Dynasty on this one with X-Ray Eyes. I think, to me, that's the song that I would choose to listen to more frequently, even though Creatures of the Night, I've always said that's my #1 album from Kiss. It seems like I have been leaning more towards Dynasty in this particular show. So, but again, I would consider that in my top 5 as well. But X-Ray Eyes is my choice.
I'll wait for Rob to say my name now.
Dave.
Oh, my turn. I was going to say, I think While the City Sleeps is the best time to play Beth. And like you, Scotty, X-Ray Eyes and Killer were the 2 choices for me. But I had to go back to Creatures of the Night for this one and give it to Killer. I just think it's the stronger track. See, Scotty loves me again.
Thank you.
Rob.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope he comes back.
That's the most insightful thing you've said all night, Rob.
Hey, let's talk bad about.
Just everybody refer to him as Oscar. All right,
Oscar. Hello,
Something's
Oscar.
going on with him tonight. Something's going on with him tonight.
He sent me a private message, something about a yeast infection.
I think he reached puberty. Things have just started to grow, and he's a bit worried.
Yep.
Yeah, he had to go put some stuff on, didn't he? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah,
some
lotion.
Yeah, there you go. That's it.
Time to change my tampon.
He's got a little what is it? Sourdough going on.
Yep.
Me, myself, and Irene.
Yeah, that's where I got that.
All right, sorry, we had the deck sliding door open and the windows, and all of a sudden it sounded like someone was breaking in the house. The wind picked up immensely; it was blowing blinds everywhere. So,
wow.
What did I miss?
Welcome back. Nothing. We talked, gave you nothing but love while you were away. Don't worry.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
What Darren pick?
I picked X-Ray Eyes.
Dave.
I picked Killer, Oscar.
Okay, Oscar, you fucker, Darren. All right. Okay, so this one was the easiest one by far. Well, the City Sleeps and Beth should not be in the Kiss catalog. X-Ray Eyes is a cool tune, but Killer is awesome. So there we go. Final track there, Scotty. Do You Love Me, Save Your Love, War Machine, Murder in High Heels.
This one, the last one, they really had to make fucking hard, didn't they? Okay, 3 of these songs could have been number 1, but only one reigns supreme for tonight. Number 4, Murder in High Heels, and a song that I do like off of Animalize, but outside of the very first pick for me, Animalize fell in last. Every one of them but one other one. But anyway. Number 3. Very tough. War Machine. Number 2. Y'all know where I'm going with this, don't you? Number 2.
I know Save Your Love would have won if Ace wouldn't have killed that chord.
Your Love is the bridesmaid.
That's because Ace ruined the chorus.
Do You Love Me is number 1 on this one. It's too damn good. The drums, the vocals. I've always loved this song, especially live. It's one that they play to perfection. You can't beat Do You Love Me. Even Ace couldn't beat him. So, Do You Love Me?
Now, do you think Save Your Love would have been number 1 had Ace not killed the chorus?
Yes. No, if Paul and Gene hadn't killed the chorus. Yeah. No, I don't know, man. I don't know. Do You Love Me is just too damn good. It would have really, that would have helped. So, number 1, Do You Love Me?
Louie.
Okay.
Hold on. It's always entertaining.
All right. Murder in High Heels musically is a very good song, but unfortunately not a great way to close an album. War Machine, I've played it to death. It's cool. It's a cool song, but it's, you get to the point where it doesn't sound cool anymore. I know you're breaking stones about the Ace fucking up the chorus to Save Your Love, and I know you know better. You just want to call fucking Buster, because that chorus is what ruins the song by those other guys. I think it's Paul Dumbvoice Toys. I don't think Pete even sings that part at all. But, for this go round, I had to just choose Do You Love Me, because that is the song between the rest of them. Had the Save Your Love had a better chorus, or the way I did my video, where I chop off the Save Your Love to get it down to the same time Ace is doing that, Save Your Love, I don't want it, save it for someone else, then that song would have won. But it's not recorded my way, it's recorded the wrong way. So Do You Love Me, the champ of that round.
First of all, that is available on Lewis's YouTube channel.
Yes.
Second of all, he tried to make Ace sound cooler than a droning Paul Stanley chorus by making Ace sound like Alvin and the Chipmunks. Nice job.
Hey, that's the way he sounds. Oh,
Dara.
Stop 1 minute. I want to make a correction. The drummer for Jimi Hendrix's name is Mitch Mitchell. I said the wrong name when I mentioned on the Warren video how he met Mitch Mitchell, the Jimi Hendrix drummer, and he couldn't talk. He froze in fear when he finally met that guy. Okay, that's it. I'm done.
And coincidentally, his drum instructor was Rob Roberts.
I do not know who that is. Is that your dad?
Sorensen.
His teacher, though, Rob Roberts' teacher was Scotty G.
There you go.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. I don't want the show to sound like a broken record, but I too also went with Do You Love Me? For me, War Machine was a very close second, but like Lewis said, overplayed in my lifetime. So I had to go with Do You Love Me?
Dave.
Even though you keep going on about Paul Stanley singing the chorus in Save Your Love, Ace really wrote the fucking song. So that's how it was meant to be sung, wasn't it?
No.
I'm sure he arranged it and said, this is how I want it.
They could have sung that differently when they
But
played
it's
it
Ace's
back.
song, and he said, this is the way I want it sung.
No,
So-
it ain't up there.
Sorry.
I don't think he was the sole writer. I'll have to look that up.
Anyway, he's not the sole writer in anything, let's be honest. He probably puts 2 bits in and that's it.
He wasn't even there half the time.
Anyway.
I think Steve Brown helped write that one too.
Okay,
I will
Dave.
agree with everybody else. Do You Love Me is easily the strongest track.
All right, so we have had 9 tracks off of 4 albums, and we have yet to have a unanimous decision.
Say that again.
A human
Nailed
in
it. Murder in High Heels is absolutely fucking embarrassing. War Machine, thanks to Kiss, extremely overplayed. And again, a song I just can't understand why they thought they needed to have it in their set list ever since it was released. Save Your Love is a decent Freely song, but this didn't even need a second thought when you saw Do You Love Me going up against the rest of them. No fucking contest.
Ring that bell, Oscar.
The only
Why Oscar, by the way?
I can't say.
Shut your mouth. All right. Fucker. All right. So there we go. 4 albums.
On his nerves.
And I do like every album, but it's amazing how much, in my opinion, Animalize is an extreme weak link here with these 3. With, for me, Heaven's on Fire being the only one chosen, and I've Had Enough and Burn Bitch Burn being the only 2 in consideration for a number 1 besides Heaven's on Fire. So the moral of the story here is the Gene songs are very, with the exception of Burn Bitch Burn, maybe Lonely as the Hunter, very weak on here, and I think that reflects the overall vibe of the album being very weak.
Agreed.
But this is in the heart of his fucking Tom Selleck wannabe days, right?
Yeah,
I said Creatures was my favorite album.
3 of Paul's songs is very weak on there, and all of Gene's songs is pretty much weak on there, even though I do like a couple.
But if I listen to the album by itself, it's okay. But when you match it up against other albums, holy cow, it's just embarrassing almost. What were you saying, Dave? Creatures your favorite album? I think that's.
Well, I said Creatures was my favorite album before I started, and it clearly got 5 of the 9.
Yeah, Creatures got 4 for me.
I was surprised Destroyer only got 1.
Destroyer got 3. Dynasty and Heaven and Animalize each got 1 for me, and that's it.
2 for me.
Oh, really?
Honestly.
Yeah, I got 3 off Destroyer, 4 off Creatures.
So here's the breakdown.
Here we go.
So the breakdown by those songs that had the most votes, you get shit. Never mind. Let me
Shit.
that. No, no, Phil. All right. So Creatures of the Night had the most overall wins with 4.
Saw that coming.
Really?
With how many?
Dynasty, well, call it 3.5 because it tied. So track number 7, there was a tie between Hard Times and I Still Love You, each getting 2 votes. So that one, so Creatures had 3.5, Dynasty had 2.5, Destroyer had 2, and Animalize had 1.
Wow, Destroyer, arguably their most their most famous album. Only had 2.
Flaming Youth and Do You Love Me? Otherwise, Dynasty had Sure Know Something, Magic Touch, and Hard Times. Creatures had Creatures of the Night, Rock and Roll Hell, I Still Love You, and Killer. And Animalize had Heaven's on Fire.
I picked King of the Nighttime World. That should get a vote.
He's talking about the winner, though.
The winner that had the most votes.
I had 3 on Destroyer. I had 1, 2 on Creatures. I had 1, 2, 3 on Dynasty.
All
And
Ace
I had
songs.
1 on Animalize.
Louis, were you the only one who had more than one off of Animalize?
Yes.
Yeah,
How many did you pull off there?
I had 4.
Holy shit! Which ones? Heaven's on? No, you didn't even pick Heaven's on Fire, did you?
No. Had enough, burn, bitch, burn, get all you could take, Under the Gun.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I had 2 for Destroyer I picked, 2 for Dynasty, 1 for Creatures, and 4 for Analyze.
Darren, how were your splits?
I had 3 off of Creatures, 3 off of Dynasty, 2 off of Destroyer, 1 off of Animalize.
He had the same thing I did.
Scott, you only had 2 on Destroyer?
No, I had 3 on Destroyer, 3 on Dynasty, and 2 Creatures of the Night, and 1 Animalize. Ain't
You know
that
what
what Darren
shocks me here is Scott only having 2 on Creatures. That's shocking for me.
It was the way they were lined up.
Yeah. Yeah.
So which
Well-
album won again?
Creatures.
Creatures.
Okay.
Which is kind of the way I thought it was going to go, but I thought it would have been a lot heavier favored.
What
Then
came in
was.
second place?
Dynasty.
Dynasty.
Yeah.
Dynasty, man.
You know, long before this even started, when it was mentioned of Creatures of Dynasty, when Rob basically said, like, oh, Dynasty ain't got no chance against Creatures. Turns out that Dynasty kind of held up pretty strong against it.
Yeah, it did. Song
Yeah,
for
that's
song.
right.
Could I suggest the next one is Psycho Circus versus Asylum versus Lick It Up versus Love Gun?
They all have the same?
Oh,
Yep.
God.
Jesus Christ almighty, that's going to be torture. Send it over so I don't forget, along with your 7 other lists you sent me today.
Yep.
Yep.
I'll just keep you busy.
All right. Here's the deal, folks. Next video will be the women of music, not rock.
Really?
Yes.
Why not Aerosmith? I'm done with Aerosmith. I ain't even started on women yet.
That's not
Are you
unusual,
kidding?
though, is it?
You've had like 2 weeks to do that women thing. All right.
Yeah.
So the
I ain't
next
started.
video will be Aerosmith.
It ain't gonna take me long to do it though.
Shut up. We'll do Aerosmith. All right. After that, God damn it, we're going to get the women of music done. So work on that in your spare time.
All done.
The next video will be Aerosmith. When is everybody available? Does Tuesday or Wednesday work?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Either one.
Either of them.
Either of them?
Yeah.
All right. Let's go Tuesday night to shake things up since we always go on Wednesdays. Tuesday night, Aerosmith. It will not be a ranking. It will be a Survivor Series style to where songs are listed in the order they were picked by Louis. So if your song's not on there, blame him. And we will give it a yay or nay to kick it off the island and see what we're left with, what remains worthy, I suppose.
An
Now,
island I don't want to live on.
if 3 of us like something and 2 don't, the 2 don't have to accept the fact that the one that 3 like stays on the list. That's just the way it goes. All right.
Yep.
And I have done the homework. Everybody's done the homework. Everybody's done. I will probably give it a listen through again just to make sure I didn't miss something. Not the entire songs because some are just unlistenable.
I don't want to
Yes.
listen to it again.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
I've made my choices. I'm going to live with the results. I can't re-listen to those.
I don't blame you.
Not
Aerosmith for me is either the song is good or it's holy fuck, turn it off.
Yes.
Yes.
There was a lot more of holy fuck than there was. So
Yes. You're right. Aerosmith
I was
is
shocked because I've always considered myself to be somewhat of an Aerosmith fan. I mean, because I guess I've enjoyed the hits, but everything else, and it's not worth my time. Sorry, I hate to say it, but
the way y'all look at Van Halen. That's the way I look at Aerosmith.
Yeah. I mean, they do have very good songs. Don't get me wrong. It's just
Yeah.
there's no in between, at least for me, to where I'm like, oh, this is okay. It's either I hate it or I like it.
That's weird too. I'm the same way.
That's why I chose to do it this way. Get it all done in one freaking big fell swoop, and that's it.
Dave, you have any thoughts on Aerosmith as a whole?
Yeah, a whole lot of shit. Yeah, a bit like you guys. Like a few albums I've listened to them, it is just like there's a couple of songs and that's about it. So
Gotcha.
I'd be more than happy with just a hits album.
All right.
Hey, there is a surprise though that I didn't even know. There's another Aerosmith album that I wound up liking just as good as Toys in the Attic.
No way.
I will reclaim that when we do the Aerosmith thing.
Yeah, I want to fucking know what that is.
Yes.
I can believe I'd like that as much as Toys in the Attic.
You didn't like Toys in the Attic. All right. This is another brainchild of Louis, so I expect him to come Tuesday with all kinds of nuggets and worthless information to hog up airtime. And until next time, everybody, thanks for watching.
Two brothers smashing